is your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy Tuesday, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. If you're listening to us on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, you're listening on a smart speaker through the Odyssey app, use the fan text line to hit us up. It's 503-2-GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. What is your most prized possession? Lowercase will bring you in. Young man, what would you consider either the most valuable sentimentally, economically, just emotionally? What do you, if your house were on fire, you run in and could save one thing, what would it be?
Well, I'm going to say my girlfriend first.
Okay, but she's not a possession.
But if
so
we're
you
talking
tried. Yeah, I
objects.
understand, but you tried to do the right thing, and you did absolutely the wrong thing. She is her own person. She is not a possession. So how dare you, you big jerk?
I think I would take my computer because it's got all my music on it. It's got a bunch of audio that I've already cut on there.
Is it not on the cloud?
No, I'm not all the way backed up on the cloud.
Okay. So yeah, grab your computer. But so your intellectual property is your most valuable possession. So
Yeah,
that's
probably.
interesting because the device isn't really the thing. It's just realizing that you don't have it backed up. There's a history of this stuff that you created. I don't know what mine would be. I was trying to think about it.
I can't restart, but
No, I understand. That's a much better answer than calling your girlfriend a possession. So you've corrected course. And you've improved on your answer. I'm good with that answer because honestly, I was trying to think about it, and I do not really know what the answer would be. The first thing that obviously you think of if there's a fire, you want to make sure your loved ones are okay. Because here's the thing. I assume my wife's going to get out just fine. I assume the kids will trail. I'm probably going back in for her cats.
I assume that her first priority is her cat. So
Yeah.
that's already on.
Well, yeah. So she'll grab the cat,
She'll
you
grab the
grab
cat,
her,
I'll grab-
and direct route. But yes, you want to make
Exactly.
sure all the people are okay. And I didn't really have it in mind of framing it that way, but I was thinking about the value of stuff, and I didn't really have like a thing that I don't care about my TV or my couch or any of I don't know. So listeners, please send in yours. I'm trying to get some perspective on this story. Logan Paul, Jake Paul's brother. I don't know much about him. But what I do know from today's headlines is he just sold a Pokemon card for $16.5 million. That has a lot of value to a lot of people for it to be escalated to that price. Apparently, it was purchased by the son of White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci. I don't know who this guy is, but it's his kid. Your dad bought you a Pokemon card, a really expensive Pokemon. Does that kid actually value it? If somebody buys you or you buy yourself something for $16 million, you've got a lot of walking around money.
And if it's something that's
but do you value, you know what I mean?
yeah, if it's something that's sort of like inanimate like that, I don't think it's going to hold much value to the person.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at some point you look at things like that as a commodity. I've heard, people with tons of money talk about art as an investment. And
Yeah.
we had a series of commercials that ran a while back. It's like, can you buy a Picasso? Absolutely not. But you can invest and be part of a group that buys a painting that's only going to go up in value. Okay. Does it have value if you had to go back in? I imagine there's other things worth millions of dollars that these guys have collected. You're not working for the White House if you're not friends with Trump, and you're not friends with Trump if you don't love money. I mean, I don't think that's unfair to say. So, does it have value? And what should we value? It got me thinking down this rabbit hole, and I thought of it. I don't know if there's one thing that I would go back in for. I just can't think of what it is. Maybe my brother's ashes.
Yeah, I don't have any singular object
Yeah.
that holds any sentimental value.
Yeah.
Picture frames,
Yeah.
Can I have all those pictures
Well, I wasn't going to
on the
talk
computer?
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it. The day after President's Day 3 years ago is when my brother passed away. I have his ashes in a box, and I helped pick out the urn. My mom and I sat there just wallowing in all the sorrow. And we picked out these boxes that are 4-sided picture frames, so his ashes could go on. I still do not have, I have not picked out the pictures, and I have not put it on display. It's literally just sitting in a box. I know where it is, but I haven't even brought myself to do it. It's 3 years, almost to the day, so this weekend will be the day. But like that has some value to me, but I don't know if I'm fighting a fire to get in there for it. Like, I can't
That's
even
one
put
of
it
those
on
things
display,
where
so I don't know.
if it's in the room that I'm already in.
Yeah. I'm grabbing it.
I'm
throwing it
grabbing
under my arm, but I don't know. So anyways, that's the question for everybody. Get us your answers on that. This weekend we did a new Take Your Pick. We're done with the football season. So I threw together one that was the All-Star game, and it was Olympic hockey. And we do have a winner. So I do want to announce our winner of the Take Your Pick. Ooh, are you getting music ready for me, young man? I love this.
You know I am.
All right. So the winner of the Take Your Pick for the All-Star Weekend shenanigans is Eric Olson. Congratulations. He won on a tiebreaker. Tanner and Rufio matched him in points, but he won in the point differential, which we used the Jazz-Blazers game for some reason. Listen, we're going to have a few weeks of this. It's going to be kind of a little bit of a mixed bag.
Roll with the punches.
The NBA is back to playing actual games on Thursday. A couple Blazers games over the weekend. I was looking at it. I was kind of looking at some of the matchups. I think you have a Spurs-Pistons game in there somewhere. There's some matchups between good teams. Some matchup between some bad teams.
Blazers Nuggets won't be bad on Friday.
I'm not mad at that at all. You're absolutely. And then they play the Suns on Sunday.
I think so.
So, yeah. So, listen, we'll put some games in. We'll make it fun. We'll do some NBA. We're not terribly far from the beginning of the World Baseball Classic. We'll get Major League Baseball going. We'll get it all figured out. But congratulations to Eric. We'll shoot out an email to everybody that played. And, Eric, if you want to join us on Thursday, you're welcome to do so. We'll figure out what we're going to do by the time we get to Thursday. One other thing that I need to mention. Fan Madness is back. Join the Fan Thursday, March 19th and Friday, March 20th for the two most exciting days of basketball at Tom's Watch Bar in the Alene Casino Resort in Ridgefield. Dirt and Sprague, the firm of Harrison Meringue, This Silly Little Show, and Primetime with Isaac Zook, all broadcasting live throughout the day. Don't miss a minute of the action. Play hooky with the Fan for Fan Madness, brought to you by Alene and Window Nation. That is March 19th and 20th. At Alene Casino Resort. Have you done a Fan Madness with us yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm kind of looking forward to.
Get ready to sit here where we're all having fun out at the casino. It's going to be great. And back at the studio, Casey Smith.
I like that.
Hey, somebody's got to do it. And you know what? You finish up this show, you come and meet us and hang out. It'll be a great time. The one thing I want to talk about off the top of the show is today starts the 2-week Will They, Won't They of the NFL franchise tag. Oh, it's like a dating show. The NFL has perfected the offseason. We're going to do this, then we're going to do free agency, then we got the draft. We'll have the Underwear Olympics somewhere in there, but man, it's like Love is Blind. What are they going to do? Will they? Won't they? What? Well, the first headline that we see is the Seahawks probably not going to use the franchise tag on Kenneth Walker III. If you're out there and you're freaking out, they have a fair amount of free agents that they need to sign. They are hoping to re-sign or extend JSN this offseason. There are a lot of priorities. If you're freaking out about it, please calm down. It is not an easy equation to make. I always love it when we sit at home and play fake money and try to figure out what they need to do. $14 million is the franchise tag assignment for a running back. They can use the transition tag, still $11 million. If anything should have been learned from this past year, maybe 2 years, can we trust John Schneider? Just let him do his thing. I know that it's not the headline that you want to see. He just won the Super Bowl MVP. He had a great postseason. It's all fantastic. You hope that he comes back. They do want to re-sign him, but would you rather have him under the franchise tag, or would you rather have him on a multi-year deal extended forward?
So you also have to re-sign again, of the unrestricted
Well, here's
free
your
agents.
unrestricted free agents. So Rashid Shaheed,
Mhm.
who is probably going to be the most expensive because the premium position that he plays. Wide receivers in this league, plus he's an all-pro punt returner
He's a hot
and
commodity.
kick returner. And the guy that had him in New Orleans that probably was part of the reason they're going, hey, you need to get this guy, just left for the Raiders. Do you know what the Raiders have for offensive weapons?
Ashton Genty. and Brock Bowers.
Me neither. So, yeah, they don't have much, right? So the idea that the Raiders might go after him, the idea that a lot of teams might go after him, especially the way that he impacted the special teams and the offense coming over midseason, Rashid Shaheed's probably going to be the hardest guy to sign. Buamafe is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He's probably your fourth best defensive end, but he's at a premium position. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism that there's probably going to be a ton of money going after him.
Especially when the
Yep.
market for edge rushers right now is super ecstatic.
Well, it always is. I mean, it's kind of smart. What do they say? If you get to the quarterback, you stop any chance. If you have a great cornerback, they stop one chance of a reception. If you have a great edge rusher, you stop all the chances of a reception. So having a guy, even if he's not your best, the thing that made the Seahawks so potent this season was their depth on the defensive line. It wasn't
Exactly.
just their top 2-3 guys. Having a rotation of guys. I think he had 40 pressures this season. His sack numbers weren't as good, but he was way up there with pressures. So it's going to be difficult. You're also looking at who else on that list. So Buamafe, Kenneth Walker, you'll have
40 pressures and 36 hurries this year.
There you go. Derek Hall. No, Derek Hall's not on that list. There's a couple more. There's 5 total.
Tariq
unrestricted-
Woolen.
Tariq Woolen, who, honestly, and then Kobe Bryant will probably
Kobe
be the
Bryant.
easiest to sign and has been as valuable as anybody on the back end of that defense. So those are your 5 free agents. Please do not freak out about the Seahawks not immediately using the franchise tag on K9. I think we'll be okay.
I think so.
Positivity. Let's do some in case you missed it, shall we? In case you missed it, the U.S. and Canada are set to face off for Olympic gold for the 7th time in women's hockey. The Americans are the heavy favorites, having outscored everyone 31-1 with a record 331-minute shutout streak. I don't want to hear anything about being worried about Canada cheating like they supposedly did it in curling. Look, if the officials don't call a penalty, that's not cheating. That's just successfully investing in the referee's retirement fund. It's totally different. Swedes are not happy about the curling cheating.
Yeah, that got heated.
It's super heated.
That got
they're-
really heated.
Listen, if it's a penalty, somebody will call the penalty. The cheating wasn't the going across the line and brazenly hitting the puck or the stone or whatever it is after the line. Somebody needs to make a call. Probably the French judge. I assume that's what happened. In case you missed it, the NBA debuted its USA versus the World format this weekend, and in the championship game, the Team Stars beat Team Stripes with a final score of 47-21. Really? People are saying the All-Star game was more exciting. The final was 47-21. Honestly, if this were my daughter's 8-year-old rec league, the refs would have invoked the mercy rule and shut off the scoreboard in the second quarter just to save embarrassment. It was way more exciting. Did you see how exciting it was? Anthony Edwards walked away with the MVP trophy, but the media is calling Victor Wembanyama the, quote, real MVP for actually playing defense. Wemby dropped 33 points in 2 mini games and was reportedly visibly upset when his team got bounced. Give me a break. Vic, you played your heart out, you made everyone sweat a little, and you still lost. Now you're pouting about it? Welcome to the All-Star game, kid. See why nobody tries? You end up looking like a little 7'4" punk. This is exactly why LeBron spends a game scrolling through his Insta-mentions. No? Just me?
Not as bad as KD on the burner.
Yeah, All-Star Saturday. Damian Lillard won the three-point contest. This is his 3rd win in this. Well, currently rehabbing from Achilles. I mean, great for Dame, but can you imagine how this feels to be the other guys? Imagine being a world-class athlete in your peak physical condition and getting beat in a shootout by a guy that needs a hover round. It begs the question, what's a bigger hit to your dignity? Losing a shooting contest to a guy with a torn Achilles or being forced to watch that slam dunk contest? Like, what's... Apparently, Lillard is already recruiting for the Phoenix 2027 All-Star Game. He's calling out Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Devin Booker. He wants to call the real shooters showdown to life. All right, Dame, I'm with you. It's a good start, but if you really want people to tune in, I need you to go all the way there. Send an invite to Larry Bird, Ray Allen, and that Toyota robot that makes all the free throws. That's man versus machine. Let's go. In case you missed it, Mark Cuban is out there arguing that the NBA should actually embrace tanking. His logic is that fans care more about affordable tickets and the hope of getting a high draft pick than they do about being a mediocre 8 seed. Amen. If you give me $12 tickets, $2 hot dogs, $5 beers, and Red Panda flipping bowls into her head at halftime, you can lose by 40. That is family fun. Heck, at this point, the 14% chance to draft the next Anthony Bennett is just gravy. Am I right? No?
Deep cut.
Deep. You're welcome.
Deep cut.
That's what I'm here for. In case you missed it, Tiger Woods stated that he is not ruling out a return to professional golf for the Masters in April, despite a recent back surgery. Okay, I'm in. My expectations are low, but who doesn't want to see a little flash of the old Tiger on the golf course again? Am I right? He also admitted that he's considering using a cart on the Champions Tour when he eventually transitions there. I hope that he won't be able to drive the cart. I think I found the people who do not want to see a little flash of the old Tiger on the golf course. Am I right? Am I right?
Ooh.
No? Is that? Yeah. All we want to see is a little bit of the old Tiger on the course. Not if he's driving. Holy cow. What?
I'm losing it over here.
No, oh, sorry. Well, that's what we're here for. And finally, in case you missed it, boxing legends Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather Jr. have reportedly agreed to an exhibition match this April in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Tyson will be 60. Mayweather is nearly 50. I'm sorry, but who is this for? If we're just watching old icons relive their glory days for a paycheck, I'd rather see 63-year-old Michael Jordan play horse against an 85-year-old Bugs Bunny. Is that no? Is that... two old guys leaning on each other for an hour. That was fun. Here's $1 billion. Thank you for that. Thanks to our wonderful studio audience. We will get to a play-by-play back at 2:30. This edition, I believe, involves the Olympics and the All-Star Weekend as well, but Casey will surprise me and you as we figure out what the happenings of this weekend mean for the future. But right now, we need to get into the Mariners' plan for spring training because they have the second most players in the World Baseball Classic. We'll take a look at some moves in the NFL. We do all of that in the Daily Buzz on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan.
Plan on
Luke Anderson.
Seattle Seahawks are down a quarterbacks coach. Andrew Janocko is going to the Raiders with his offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, who will now be the head coach. The NFL protects the teams from poaching coaches by saying he can't make a lateral move, so that should stem the tide of anybody leaving from the Seahawks going to the Las Vegas Raiders. But the good news is the Seahawks took advantage of the same rule by promoting the 49ers tight end coach to the new offensive coordinator in Seattle. They are getting a young man named Fleury. I kind of love this. You go and get Brian Fleury, who has been with the 49ers for 7 years. So you're taking a Kyle Shanahan disciple, somebody that is known for his detail with the run game coordinator and tight ends coach. I don't know a ton about him, but he has experience working with Sam Darnold. He has plenty of experience working in the division, and this is somebody that has worked with Clint Kubiak. So if you're trying to keep consistency, I think everybody was leaning towards the Seahawks sticking with an in-house candidate. You went and stole somebody from the 49ers. I kind of love it, so works for me.
I think that's the best thing that you could possibly get. You went and got a person who's very comfortable in the division, who understands the depth and the heated nature of that rivalry. And now you have him back with Sam Darnold.
And if he is the guy, you interview him and you like what he's got, you have not only added to your team, you've taken away from one of your biggest rivals. So win-win. All right, let's go over to your Seattle Mariners. There is a fair amount of consideration that you have to make for your spring training lineups, surprisingly. But right now, the Seattle Mariners have the second most participants in the World Baseball Classic of any organization. The Mets have 18 players that will be participating in the WBC. The Mariners have 16. If you look at the top five, Phillies have 15. One of those, not Trey Turner, who is a little bit upset about that. Trey Turner hit .391 with 5 home runs in the last World Baseball Classic. Didn't even get an invite.
We called him Captain America for months.
He said his phone never rang. And they are going with Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson at the shortstop position. Not a terrible idea, but, dude, go and get a guy who dominated last time. He just wants to play in it. You don't even call him?
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Hey,
is he coming off of any injury?
No.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
He's ready to go. Phillies have 15, not 16 players. Red Sox, Royals, Brewers, and Pirates all have 14 players, the fewest players going to the World Baseball Classic. Washington Nationals and Houston Astros both have 4. The Astros have already said that Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa will not go because they couldn't figure out the insurance for them to go. So I think there's a couple guys that wanted to go, but couldn't. One other quick note in baseball, the Twins' Pablo Lopez, their ace, has a torn UCL and will likely miss the entire season with Tommy John surgery. He was actually getting ready to pitch for Venezuela, I can say that word, in the World Baseball Classic, so he will be out for the seasons. The Twins, if you haven't paid attention to them, got rid of their team president 2 weeks ago as they're getting ready for the spring training, and they got rid of everybody at the trade deadline last year, tried to sell the team, then decided they didn't want to sell the team. They are an absolute mess, and now their ace is gone for the year. Congratulations to the Minnesota Twins, who, for the last few years, have been pretty good and have really, really taken a hit. A little movement for you in the NFL. The Miami Dolphins have released star wide receiver Tyreek Hill to clear up cap space. That saves them $22.8 million on the salary cap. His production in 2023 was 1,700 yards, almost 1,800, 1,799. And then in 2024, less than 1,000 last year, had the injury that took him out for most of the season.
Yeah, in week 4.
But already being recruited by Chris Jones and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs lacking some weapons. Tyreek Hill lacking some rings. I think it feels like that could be something that would make sense for both parties. Would you like to see that?
I remember Pittsburgh was on the list of teams that at the start of the year when Tyreek was begging to be traded,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was up the top of the list. With Mike Tomlin gone, there's no way he's coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I've got no faith for my NFL season in the upcoming year. I'm
What?
hurt.
Mike McCarthy is from Pittsburgh. No?
Woohoo.
Yeah. Let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, and we can see what we missed.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com.
Ah, that music is so good.
First on the fan, have a little bit of a hockey scrum for us.
Yeah, let's do it.
An Olympics update as Canadian hockey player Tom Wilson, he was almost suspended from the rest of the games after he and French hockey player Pierre Crenon engaged in a fight in the third period of the men's preliminary match between Canada and France.
If I told you there was going to be a fight between two countries in the Olympic hockey tournament, how many people would have picked France and Canada to duke it out?
Don't think I had them on my big
I
card.
mean, listen, one other country in the world besides France speaks French. That is Canada. And let's be honest, they don't seem like the two most aggressive countries by nature. But I'm down for it, dude. Countries fighting, hockey fights, it's such a good thing. Let's go. Let's not toss anybody out. Let's keep it going.
Wilson was quoted saying, "It was kind of a dirty hit, and it's a little bit different in the Olympics. How you have to go about it, I obviously ended up with the same guy who had done it before."
We'll talk a little more hockey later in the show.
For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
in your pocket?
Oh yeah. That's my practice dog, sorry.
On to Chloe Kim. First run of 3. Score she needs to beat at 85.
So she is a right foot forward rider starting off her run. Backside 720 sets her up switch stance. Comes into this wall. Huge switch method air. Chloe, great pacing. Her own double cork and she lands it. Chloe Kim, she wants to knock this thing out of the park on run number 1. And I believe, Harris, she's going to do it.
That was U.S. Olympic snowboarder and 2-time gold medalist Chloe Kim making her presence known in this year's Olympics. Kim walked away with the silver in this year's event, and while she was out there shredding the gnar, as people say, fans were teasing her about her dating life, saying that she's by far the best athlete in her relationship.
Well, I mean, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, 3-time medalist. She has 2 golds and now a silver in the half pipe. Does she have any other medals that I don't know about?
Just
is that
3.
Is that about right? Well, listen, Myles Garrett, I don't see him getting a gold medal anytime soon. I mean, playing on the biggest stage in the Olympics with the world watching, playing in Cleveland, I can see that, yeah, probably the best athlete. I mean, you have to be completely insane to snowboard out of those pipes. Did you spend any time snowboarding?
No.
I am old enough that when I started snowboarding, they really had just started carving the half pipes into the side of the mountain. You used to have like maybe 6-foot walls on either side, and it was a true half pipe where it was like the half circle, set up for it. They would just go and kind of brush it out. They were tiny, and they were awesome. They were so much fun to ride. It took maybe 5 or 6 years to look at a mountain set up for competition and just put the fear of God in you. The jumps are so big. The half pipes are enormous. Like, I went last year and did some snowboarding, but probably hadn't been in 6 or 7 years before that. And the last time that I went, I looked at the half pipe and just went, nope.
And here's this girl doing backside 720s
Oh,
off
dude,
of them.
they just kept building bigger and bigger hits to accommodate what these riders can do, and there is just a little bit of insanity that goes in there. And most of the time, like if you go up to Mount Hood Meadows and they have a park set up for any sort of competition, you're not allowed to ride on it unless you're qualified to do so. They'll have them marked off, and guys will go up and try to ride those. I went to Tahoe with a guy that was on the Olympic ski team or junior ski team. He ended up blowing out his knee. He's like, oh, let's go do some airs. I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you at the bottom of the
See you down there, pal.
6.5 or the 16.5 foot kicker. I'll meet you on the other side. He's like, oh, can you take a picture of me? Yeah, absolutely. He's like, oh, you're a really good rider. Why don't you hit jumps? I don't want to die. They're insane. So I will say the more courageous athlete is Chloe Kim for sure.
I'll say she's the better athlete.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I get it.
Without training, in tears because it hurt so much on her left leg. And here it is, heavy on the left leg, but she is a tiger, as it is painted on her helmet.
Last season became the oldest World Cup winner before Lindsey Vonn eventually broke that mark at age 41. And Brignone, half second in the green here in the early going.
Oh, and this is where she cannot make an error. She's built up such a good lead. And there you go, not too direct off this second to last blind jump, and she is spot on with the tactics.
We talked about the comeback from Vonn, which was amazing. Brignone's comeback is incredible as well. And she skis into the lead over her teammate. This day belongs to Italy's Federica Brignone. Gold medal for Italy.
That was Italian alpine ski racer Federica Brignone, who just won her second gold of the Olympics. Brignone was coming off of a brutal injury in the Italian Championships back in April, where she fell on her second giant slalom run, tumbled through 2 gates. After that, she was helicoptered to the hospital, endured 2 surgeries, 42 stitches, and multiple months of rehab. All I have to say is, move over Lindsey Vonn.
Oh, I don't even want to compare the two because the courage that it takes to go into it. I mean, we just talked about snowboarding and that. the downhill skiers were always insane. They didn't have to build anything bigger. They just found the steepest part of the mountain and just launched themselves down it. I was watching Brignone in the slalom, or I guess it was the giant slalom that they were doing was the second race. So she won the Super G, became the oldest Olympian. Then she partied all night. They said that the only reason she stopped partying, she was at the Austria Olympic House or whatever, which was her 5th of the night. She had to give up the partying because her knee was in pain, did not train in between the Super G and the giant slalom, and all she does is go out and win the giant slalom when she couldn't even do practice runs because her knee hurt so bad. They showed the video of her on the rehab and the scar on her knee, but she was not going to miss the Olympics on her home snow or ice because it's not very soft snow. It was incredible. The crowd was awesome. The rest of the Italian team was really good. There's a big rivalry between her and some other gal that they don't even share like tips on the course because they hate each other so much. The whole thing was absolutely epic. She is my favorite non-American Olympian right now. It was awesome.
Sport that demands that you give everything, and then once you do, it asks for more. That's where the champions are found. Jessie Diggins is a champion. She's the world champion in this event. But today at the Olympic Games, she is in a fight for the podium, in search of a medal. It would be the 4th of her decorated career. 8 years ago, she made history, now trying to cement a legacy. Jessie Diggins with that final surge for the finish, and Diggins is into a medal position.
That was U.S. Olympic cross-country skier Jessica Diggins winning her 4th Olympic medal in the 10-kilometer race. She secured bronze in the event after bruising her ribs in her opening race. She now has the bronze, has a silver, and a gold already in her career medal.
It's awesome. Cross-country skiing is insane. You have the endurance element to that. And watching what Norway has done in these Olympics, if anybody besides Norway gets a medal, it's pretty epic to have the U.S. go out there and kind of just show out the amount of diversity there are in sporting competitions across the Winter Games, even more so, I think, than what you see in the Summer Olympics. I know that you have swimming and you have all that, but it feels like there's so many medals that are a variation on running, a variation on swimming. There's some team sports out there or whatever. Some of the things that they're doing in the Olympics are just so absurd. And if you haven't snowboarded, I imagine you haven't cross-country skied. But going out there and the amount of space and time that you have to spend training and going out. We used to do these runs up around Mount Adams when I was a teenager, and we'd go out and you're just in the middle of nowhere, but that's the only way that you can really train is go out and find these open spaces. And imagining those training runs and how much it gets into your head of what's my biggest competitor doing halfway around the world and what are they working on right now? That is a sport that takes some real mental toughness because I don't think you get that many opportunities just to go out and go, all right, let's get a race together. I'll race you to that mountain and back. I know that the training is pretty epic, but that takes a lot of stamina, fortitude, grit, whatever you want to call it. So pretty badass.
Did it all with bruised ribs too. That's what's most impressive. The endurance of it all and just fighting through, again, 10 kilometers.
You only get these chances once every 4 years, and that's the reason that Brignone is rehabbing like she does. That's why you're playing through those ribs. That's why you see these athletes in every discipline just putting it all on the line because you may never get another chance to go back. And certainly for Brignone, never to be back in your home country to do it in front of your home crowd. And she has that freaking tiger helmet, those tiger gloves, and that looks real cheesy unless you do what she did, and then it's awesome. And the whole crowd is all wearing tigers. The Olympics are great. I love it. What's next?
And that is shoot the basketball. And Lillard just came out here and says, it's okay. I had a chance to speak with Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, and they say they are both ecstatic. They are going to be watching this with bated breath, watching. Oh, and there's the look. He knew it. He knew it. Oh, and look at OG Bobby Portis. Are you kidding me?
That was Reggie Miller on the call for the three-point contest, where Damian Lillard won his third three-point contest. He now joins Larry Bird and Craig Hodges as the only three-time winners of the event in NBA history.
It's an exhibition shooting contest as part of All-Star Weekend. You don't even have to be an All-Star to be there anymore. I don't know how many times he's entered the competition. I don't know how many times those guys entered the competition. Cool. It's awesome. I'm just so glad he didn't hurt himself. That's all I thought was, how Blazers would it be to go out there and tear the other Achilles doing a little exhibition shoot around. I do like the idea. I mentioned it in case you missed it, where he's trying to recruit everybody to go out there. Here's your fix. Just have like the best shooters from around the country. If you had guys qualify off the street and you could go and shoot against or with Damian Lillard, then I'm going to go and tune in. I don't really care who the all-stars are that are in the shooting competition. Obviously, nobody cares about doing the slam dunk contest anymore. Go get the best guy from the And One mixtape tour and whatever the equivalent of that is right now. Have him jumping over cars and then have him call out the NBA, go, who thinks they can beat me at a dunk contest? Make it a little TV show. The NBA is looking for ratings wherever they can. Do them at halftime of NBA games. Have the qualifying and have them go out there. Make that your All-Star Saturday. That would make it more interesting. Good for Dame. Better for Dame that he didn't get hurt. Better for the Blazers that he didn't get hurt. I hope this creates some excitement for what this Blazers team can be next year with Dame out there. But again, the number one thing that I thought was, thanks for not getting hurt.
He hesitated just enough, didn't he? And assured themselves the last possession. But the problem is they got to get a stop here. Pick by Edwards. No numbers. Edwards for the lead. He's got it. He's doing the same thing he did in game one. Taking over.
Once again, Reggie Miller on the call there. That was Anthony Edwards with a nice little highlight from the All-Star game. Luke, how do we feel about the new format? And do we think that because of the pressure from years prior of it being so bad, do you think they at least made steps towards, again, a better product in the All-Star game?
Victor Wembanyama cared a great deal about it, and both team stars and team stripes wanted to make sure that they put the kid in his place, and they did. Then what happened when they met in the final? 47-21. It was embarrassing. It turned right back to exactly what it was. And the funniest thing was, as much as Victor Wembanyama cared, you know who didn't care? Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. They played 5 minutes each. They did not care about it at all. It is an exhibition because one young kid wanted to go and show that if I try, this will happen. It got a couple guys excited enough to go out there and shut them down. Kawhi Leonard was one of them, and Anthony Edwards was the other. And then you had the old guys versus young guys in the final. The whole setup was very, very complicated, way more so than it needed to be. Just admit it, that nobody really wants to go out and get hurt in this game, and figure out a way to just make it a celebration of basketball. Have the game be secondary. That'll be fine. It's great for the host city. It should be fun for the players. I'm glad nobody got hurt. Same thing I'll say about Dame, because that's really all you're trying to do is avoid, because you only get so many opportunities to go out there and try to win a championship in this league, and that should remain the most important thing. So stop trying to make these into something that matters. They don't, and that's okay. Just try to make it fun, and I'm okay with that. The pros versus Joes, if you want to do something like that, and you can get buy-in from the players, I'm fine with that, but it's exhausting. Trying to keep track of everything that was going on with the format changes, I didn't.
That's the one thing that was really bugged me, is I didn't know who was on what team, sitting there going, which game's playing now, which game's playing next. I have no clue.
It was one game, but it was 3 quarters that were the play-in for the final. Whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah, they're trying way too hard.
That's all I got for you.
All right. Well, we do have to talk a little bit of Olympic hockey. They didn't make the rink the right size, and then they did something else wrong when they built what should be a very simple ice rink. We'll talk about that and a little bit more. Your thoughts when we do one more for the road. That is next. It is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
with Luke Anderson.
All right, kids, if you missed anything from the show or you're not listening right now, go and get the podcast. 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Mr. Smith, what are the people saying on the YouTube chat and the text toy?
Well, some people did not like your take about the All-Star game.
Hey, well, listen, you can love it if you want to, but yeah, like the idea of trying to fix something that has clearly eroded over the years and changing it every year is an irritant to me. What do they love about the All-Star game? Oh my gosh, they tried for 2 quarters to beat Wembanyama. Yeah, how would you like if that dude got hurt because he was the only tryhard out there? It'd be pretty dumb.
There's also a good one that says it's the 31st anniversary of the movie Heavyweights.
I don't know the movie Heavyweights.
Oh, Ben Stiller takes kids to fat camp? Oh, it's a great film.
Yeah.
It's one where can't make that because they typecasted everyone. Kenan Thompson's in it. Who played the goalie in Mighty Ducks?
I don't know. Fat kid?
The fat kid in Mighty Ducks.
The idea that a old fat camp comedy movie, you called it a film, that always just amuses me when it's like, Dodgeball, one of the great films of our generation. Old school, what a great film. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, anything else that we missed?
Not that I'm seeing. It's just a lot of chatter.
Hey, love the chatter. All right, I think we got it set. If I'm tracking this tournament correctly, Sweden just beat Latvia, and Sweden will be the opponent for the United States tomorrow when the men's quarterfinals get underway. So the U.S. was the only one waiting for an opponent. A 5-1 win for Sweden over Latvia finishes out the round. Canada will play Czechia. Germany, Slovakia, and Finland. Switzerland will be played. Did you see the different look of the ice rink? They had to take off the dark panels because apparently it's hard to see a puck if you make the walls dark blue. Idiots. At least they fixed it before we got into the good stuff. Thank you, Casey Smith. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And as always, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're done for now. Bye-bye.
Always look on the right side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain.